The best way for you to prevent yourself from making some deadly mistake in life is to learn from other people's mistake. Today, I want you to take the time and watch this video as a young guy who is in your 20s. The dangerous mistake you don't have to make when you are in your 20s. I want you to take your time and watch the video and learn not to make those mistakes when you are 20.
5 things I wish I knew at my 20s. I really wish I knew these 5 things that I'm about to share with you at my 20s. So, in case you're watching this video and you're at your 20s, then consider yourself lucky because, hey, you're gonna get these things. And by the way, when I was that young, the issue of YouTube and whatever wasn't that popular. So we couldn't get people to advise us and tell us the truth. All right? It's so weird that I got somebody at their 45 and was asking me, Joseph, what is a money market fund? At 50, asking me, hey, Joseph, what is index fund? Joseph, what is treasury bills and bonds? Joseph, what is this and that? And it's so astonishing. It tells you that not that they're bad, not knowing, no, but you find this information was not there, it was not shared with anybody. So stick around with me. I'm gonna share this information because it's so much strong, and I'm gonna use only 15 minutes, so you better stick around and make sure that you watch this video to the end. And like this video, subscribe in case you've never subscribe to my YouTube channel, tap that notification bell, and make sure that you leave a comment on the comment section. All right, let's get in the business. Okay, the point number one thing that I regret that I wish I knew back when I was at my 20s is that I didn't know that university degree is actually useless. I didn't know that. I used to think like, hey, if I pursue good and perform good rather on my high school and transition to university, get those good grades, go get the degree, then go get a very good job and you get yourself money and you become wealthy. But that is not the formula actually to wealth. I actually got hit by the realities when I was at around my 4th year. When I was attached before I graduated. In Kenya, we have a system whereby a student who is in university, especially at the tail end of the completion, you have to be attached so that you can graduate. So at the time, the realities hit me and I was like, oh my goodness. When I interacted with the guy who was working there, he had been working for like 30 years and he was telling me, you know what, job is a scam. And I was like, come on, dude. I mean, you couldn't tell me that. I mean, I'm actually being attached here and I'm looking forward to say working this particular place. And now you're telling me it's actually a scam. And I was like, what do you mean by that? So we spent a lot of time with that guy and he told me, you know what? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And of course I was like, but you look okay. Yeah, sure, I've built a home. I've actually educated my kids, but it was not worth it. Sure. Can you imagine this? This guy has a job and he says it's not worth it. Now you get the degree, you don't even get that job. What he was saying is not even worth it. Now tell me the kind of a crisis you'll be on. Probably there are people who are watching this video. You studied in school, you graduated from university, you have your degree, you have never used it. Well, I know that the academicians will be like, but you are using that knowledge that you had in university and you are using that language and that English that you are learning there. True, but that was not the point. When we went to the university, we were not going there to know English. Hello, are we together? We went there, truly speaking, let's not lie to each other. Let's not bury our heads into the sand, okay? We went to the university, we get the grades, we get good, whatever, we get good jobs, and we have ourselves a successful life. Because apparently that's what was told to us. That is what was shared to us. So I didn't know it is actually a scam. Am I saying that you should not study a degree? No, I'm not saying that. Study the degree, but do something other else, do some other things, at the satellite of that. You can be in university, but you're having other things out there. But you can study that degree with the mentality of, you know what? Sure, I know this may not give me food, but I'm gonna have some other things. Be there to connect socially, psychologically, financially, and what have you. Don't just hang around with people thinking that if you get that degree, if you get that paper or that certificate, voila, all your problems have been solved. That is not the reality. The reality is you can get the, for example, mine is under the bed. Literally, it's under the bed. I mean, when I say it is under the bed, literally in my suitcase somewhere. I've never used it. It has never given me anything. Somebody else might be watching this video and you're somewhere a CEO of a company because of your degree. You are lucky, but that's what the majority looks like. Probably, I would like to know how much do you love that particular job anyway. But anyway, the point is, I didn't know that. And I think the earlier you know it, the better it will be because it can actually prepare yourself before you even embark on studying that particular degree. Because after all, school is good because there's some areas where it will help you. But if you're schooling to get money, it is not right. you may not get that money, by the way. And if you have to get it, it is limited. There are some other formulas that you can actually apply that can help you to do the legit ones. Number two, or the second thing that I've never actually understood, or the second thing that I actually regret that I didn't know. The first one, I said the university degree is actually a what? It's not useful. It's not that useful, that is all. Two, second point is that the lesser the circle, the lesser the circle, the lesser the problems. The less people you have in your circle, the less the problems that you're gonna have. Okay, forgive my handwriting, but whatever I write, I actually say it. So the lesser the circle, the lesser the problems. The moment you encircle yourself with a very big number of people, you have a lot of people to please. I saw somebody making fun of, on TikTok, he was saying like, Lamborghini only has 2 doors, yeah? You and the co-driver. I don't know, Range Rover has, I don't know, 4, and okay, it's a weird example, but he was trying to sell the idea of you can actually have one person who is closer to you of high quality rather than having 5, 10 people whom you don't even help each other. And by the way, it's true. The bigger the circle of your friends, the bigger the problems that you have to, because you don't know who said who or who said what to who. But the moment you have one, for example, let's say you have a secret and you tell one person. So if you find that secret has actually leaked, you can trace and be like, you know what, it's this guy. It's the only guy apparently knows. That is the circle. You get what I'm saying? So the lesser the circle, the lesser the what? The problems. Because you hang around with people who are complaining the same problem as you, then you tend to think like it's the normality. For example, let's say all of you are graduates and you don't have jobs, and you'll be like, you know, there's no job, there's no job, there's no job. So what do you agree? Oh, there's no job. I mean, it's the norm. But what if you hang around with the people who are actually doing something? Yeah, there is no job, but I'm doing something extra. You'd be like, okay, there are no jobs for this, but somebody is doing something else. So you actually get what? Your comfort is actually being disturbed. By the way, I don't know whether you know this. The more people you have in your circle, the lesser the IQ you people have. I repeat, the more people you have, the lesser the IQ you people have. By the way, a crowd people usually tend to have a low IQ compared to an individual. It's true. By the way, for me, I usually have one rule. The moment we get 3 people, I never talk sense. Let's say we hang around, we are having a conversation with you, and then all of a sudden, that person, either my friend or your friend or whatever, but we are 3, I cease talking serious things, because you can never sort of talk sense the moment you exceed 3. You can't. That's the reality and that's a fact. Okay, you exit 2. Probably I usually feel like when there were 2 of you, you can actually plan a lot of good things. But the moment we have a third person, you find issues just comes in. So the lesser the circle, the lesser the problems. I wish I knew that when I was in my 20s. Now, the other thing, this one is very important. Starting early, no matter how small, no matter how small. I didn't know that you can buy shares as little as 200 shilling. That is like $2 or less than $2. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I can actually embark on buying shares worth like 200 shillings each and every time continuously. Probably I could be somewhere where I am, right? Maybe I could be, you get what I'm saying? I'm not regretting it, and I'm not dissatisfied with the life that I'm living now. I'm simply saying this video to evoke the emotion for the people who are at their 20s so that they can take the action and do what? Achieve something for the sake of their lives, all right? Because we are here to sharpen each other, just like an iron sharpens another iron. So starting early is way much better. Because you see, yeah, I know at your 20s you may not have a lot of money, but you can leverage on time. You have a luxury that most of the people who are their 50s don't have, which is the time. You have the time to try again and again and again and again. So if you can actually be able to leverage on that time, you can actually be able to be saving something little, or you can be investing something little. With time, then you can reach a certain milestone by, say, when you hit 30, 40, 50, or 60 years old, okay? And I know it's very hard speaking the language of 30 years for somebody who is at their, not even 30, let's speak the language of 10 years. Pick somebody randomly at their 20 years old and they tell them, hey, 10 years time, you're going to be 30. Sounds like mystery to them. Sounds like, hey, 10 years from now, 10 years. And the 10 years passes by the way. If you invest or not, either way it will pass. So you find that these individuals, you tend to think like, before I even say that, let me just introduce the fourth one. The fourth one, not actually the fourth one, the fifth one. Let me call the fourth one, yeah? I've written as the fifth one. Let me call the fourth one. Wealth takes time. Takes time to create. Okay? Takes time to create. It's never an event. It's actually a process. And by the way, it's very hard for young people to resonate with this point of mine. You know, they tend to think like, hey, for example, I don't know. I don't know whether it's on this phone or which phone. There's a comment that I saw. A message someone sent me and told me, "Hey Joseph, I have 20,000. Help me to make it a million in 1 year." Oh my goodness! You got 20 G's. You want me to make you? You want me to help you make it a million in 1 year? Oh my goodness! I really wish I know how I can do that. I can do that with my money. That's magical. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I mean, it is, but realistically, damn. Oh my goodness. You guys, can you help me that guy to get to a million from 20,000 within a year? Bearing in mind that 3 months now are gone. We are talking about 9 months. You see, before handling that individual is very tough, isn't it? Because first of all, they have some sort of broken understanding of finances and money and what have you. Can you dare if you tell that person if you can save that 20,000, keep on putting your 5,000 continuously in a period of 5 years, 6, 7, 10 years, you cannot get your million? You're going to lose that guy along the conversation because they don't want that. You know, he's coming in with the mentality of, I just want to get rich quick as possible. And I don't know why you guys acting as if it's an emergency when you're at your 20. Oh my goodness, I want to make that money as fast as I can. I really want to. So you're acting as if it's an emergency. Sure, I mean, getting money is good, amazing, and well. We had that mentality when we were at your 20s, but we knew it. We already know it doesn't work. And if you have that mentality, what you can actually even get scammed, you get yourself into problems. You actually get yourself to, you slip over from being aggressive to greedy. That's the time when you start stealing, conning, defrauding people, scamming, because you want to violate the fact that it needs time to create wealth and brains to keep it. So if you grow into something, or if you grow through the something, you understand, you know the concept. But you just get yourself into something, you never understand the value that you need to attach with that money. For example, I always tell people that there's a difference between being a millionaire and having 1 million. Millionaire is more of a mindset. A million is, you can just, come on, you get what I'm saying? It takes time to create wealth. I didn't know that. I mean, I used to think like I can just throw myself into something, boom, 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 to 1 year, 6 months later, I'm wealthy. Yay! I'm just driving a Lamborghini and enjoying myself out there. It happens. If you're lucky, maybe you can just hit a jackpot and whatever. But how many people hit that? And the last point, the last thing that I actually regret not knowing when I was at my 20s is that nobody cares. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Sounds harsh, isn't it? I mean, indeed, because it is actually. Nobody cares. Or should I say, nobody owes you nothing. Nobody owes you nothing. So we usually have this mentality like everyone owes me everything. Hey, you know what? Hey, I'm a kid. Come on, guys, I'm a kid. You know, I'm supposed to be helped. You know what? I just graduated and I don't have the money. I remember when I graduated, I wrote a business plan for my parents. Yeah, and then I told them, you know what, guys, you can fund me for business because I want to start a business because you already know that jobs are not there. And they told me, hey, you know what? We are done with you. Go out there, do your things. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's so callous of you. Why would you say? Okay, obviously, I didn't tell them that, but that's what I was thinking. Why would you do that? Come on, you should be with me. You should be, I mean, I deserve to be helped. I just graduated. You know what? I'm just a small person in this world. I know nothing. And I used to think like everyone is just standing around and thinking about, nobody cares. No, nobody. Nobody cares. You are all alone. You are by yourself. You gotta do it by yourself. Figure it out. Figure it out on how you can do it. I don't be like, but where West? I don't know. Or you'd be like, oh my goodness, I think the government is true. The government, there's something that they're supposed to do. But what if they're operating with the optimum as they think? Government doesn't own you anything. But they used to think like, hey, I am poor because the government is not actually making more jobs. And then I asked, one day I sat down and asked myself, okay, what if I was the president? How can I create jobs for the youths? How can I create? By the way, if you're a youth here, tell me how the government can create it, and then tell me how practical that is. Sometimes I usually feel like the government, that's my view anyway, and no hard feelings. Sometimes I just feel like that the government just get into place and then they don't even know what they are supposed to do. They don't even know how to create the jobs. They just know they're supposed to create jobs, but they don't know how to do that. And then all of a sudden, somebody in a different country with billions of money comes to this country and start a business. They're like, oh wow, we can leverage on that. Our policies allow that guy to come and actually start the business. Sometimes I tend to think like that. For example, let's say you've not, let's say, okay, let's say you're a football fan and you understand football. Okay, let me use me. For example, what do you think if I go to Real Madrid and become their coach? Probably those guys will still win, isn't it? Okay? And I don't know anything about football. But those guys is already a winning team. For example, if today we pick you and make you a president of you, okay, they don't have a president, yeah? We make you a prime minister of UK. Probably the systems, because the systems are the ones that works. So if the systems are failing, no matter who you bring there, they're still gonna do it. Okay, that sounds more political. Anyway, I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying nobody owes you anything. Not the government, not your parents, not your brothers, not your sisters. No, nobody. You own yourself. So the earlier you wear the shoes of responsibilities and be accountable to yourself, the better it will be for the sake of your life. Sounds harsh, sounds bad, but the reality. The earlier you know it, the better it will be. Allow me just to end there. Probably I know you're about to take stones and throw one to me, but let them come. That's the reality. You better have somebody who's telling you the truth the way it is, rather than just sugarcoating things. I would rather slap you with the truth and comfort you with a lie. That's good. Joseph, as always, I'm here to share with you the truth. That's why you should subscribe to my YouTube channel, to be sure the truth at all the time. See you in the next one.